Hello everyone, it's Heather and I'm back with another video. And this is episode 6 of my story and sketch series. It's about the 6th animated Disney full-length feature, which is Saludos Amigos. And I've got some interesting takes on this one. Okay, so starting out, it's only 41 minutes long. I think that makes it the shortest animated full-length feature, at least from Disney. I don't know of like all time. Probably not of all time, but at least Disney's shortest film. Which it's very short, honestly. I definitely wish it was longer, honestly. I really like this film a lot. It's the first of the, I think there's 6 or 7 package films, which basically means that during the war, they kind of had like a lower budget and could only like animate like certain things. They could only animate so much, and animation's expensive. So what they did was they took a bunch of short animations and they spliced them together and made a full movie out of it. And this is the first of those. And this is also the first of 2 animated / live action. They combined them, and they also were visiting a bunch of different countries in South America, and it was to, you know, support. I thought it was really cool because they basically said these are our neighbors to the south, and these are our, you know, our friends and our family to the south and everything, and we should support South America and all these different countries. And I think it's a really cool way of doing it. And I think there's a lot of there's a lot of different like things in Disney that is all about education / entertaining, and I think edutainment I think is what they call it. And this may be the first of those, but I'm not entirely certain on that. I also thought it was kind of weird that this is rated PG, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. And then they also, at the beginning, there's, you know, the warning that there's smoking characters, so watch out. Which, of course, would be our little parrot friend. So we'll learn more about him. So the first of these 6 short animated films or short animations, part of this film, is called Lake Titicaca. And it starts out with some information about Peruvian people, and I don't think it seems too problematic. The animation style is like a rubber hose style still in this, so it's not like the full, they didn't use like any kind of like rotoscoping or anything, or they didn't like, I don't think there was any like too much reference used other than their environment and their clothing, and but like for people themselves, I think that they just kind of drew them like they've normally drawn people during that time, like in the short animations, like short cartoons and stuff. So rubber hose meaning like they're just kind of loose, and then their arms are just kind of like wibbly wobbly like noodle arms, and you can see that in like old like 30s, 40s animations, stuff like that. They don't really use, I guess in like a more recent version, they would, you could call Adventure Time kind of like a rubber hose style. It's still kind of in that same vein of like, there's no like elbows or like knees or anything. Everyone's just kind of like loose. It's interesting learning about the different cultures and stuff. Honestly, I find that like super entertaining and super interesting. And I like a lot of that. But the next little featurette would be Pedro, and this was kind of, I like it, but it's not my favorite of the it almost kind of feels like it's in the Cars universe. So Pedro's like a little plane that has to go get some mail, and he goes through some crazy weather to go get the mail, and then he comes back, and then there's one little postcard is all it is. There's no people involved in that one, and I feel like honestly it could have almost been set anywhere. That had really nothing to do with South America. But then when they go to the next scene, which is, I guess that I honestly don't remember what the next scene is called, but this is all live action. The animator starts speaking about like the culture and different things, but I think it's kind of like, there's still problems obviously with it. I think they're doing their best to like, they're like, okay, this is South America, isn't it? This is pretty cool, look at this culture. But they're also finding every opportunity they can to compare South American countries to the United States. So for example, the narrator says, like, here's the people dancing. It's like square dancing, isn't it? And then they also, point out this guy's outfit, which it's like, it reminds me of a cowboy. And I feel like that's probably because cowpokes were native to Latino populated countries before they were here. We kind of ripped them off, but I digress. So moving along, the next animation is Gaucho Goofy. And what I like best about this one, it's about Argentinian culture. And I feel like it's really cool, like, learning the different terms alongside, like, being entertained. So I like that they're talking, like, here's how the gaucho would dress. Here's how, like, here's all the different things that you would, like, do, like, being a gaucho kind of thing. So, so I thought that was pretty cool. Aqualera do Brasil, see if I pronounce that right. Jose Carioca is the second character. So basically there's these, like, this is like the intro to The Three Caballeros, which is the next film after this. So we have Donald Duck, right? And he meets Jose Carioca, or Joe Carioca, however you want to pronounce it. They had this, like, parrot that they had in the shop, and they sat outside of the shop, and it was kind of like a locally known parrot. And then they turned him to a Gajinka, basically, which I thought was really funny. So they're like, Jose, he's the Gajinka of this parrot. I love the concept of this animation, of the Aqualera do Brasil one, and I think it's really interesting. I love the animation. I love the paint. I love everything about this one. The music is so good. I love like Spanish music, kind of like Latino music. I think it's great. It's very fun. This animation. I love this one a lot. And I think it's just, like, overall, it's just kind of depressingly short. I really wish they went a little bit more into it, but, they do have the second film at least, so that's good. So for an overall grade of Saludos Amigos, again, I'm going to be basing the grade on story, animation, voice acting, and music. And I think that starting out, story, I gave it a C+, and that is a little lower than normal, and that's only because while some of the animations are really solid and really enjoyable, I do think there's a few that are kind of, like, lacking. I wasn't super crazy about the Pedro story, and Gaucho Goofy's good, but it's not the best, like, Disney animation, because you can kind of feel that they kind of toss these ones in there, that they were like, we don't really have anywhere else to put this, so throw it in this package film. So and then for animation, I give it a B+, and that's slightly lower than I normally would give a Disney movie, and that's because with the Lake Titicaca short, I feel like it was a little less quality than usual, and they kind of still use, like, the rubber hose animation style, which there isn't anything wrong with that style. If you like it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with, like, a style of animation, and I feel that way about any animation, so please stop, internet. And I think that, it's like the rest of it, like some of it is like absolutely gorgeous. Like with the short with Aqualera do Brasil. And I love that when they're using the watercolors to paint the scenes, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I really have no faults with that. Some of them are perfect in my eyes, some of them are kind of lacking. So next thing is voice acting. I give an A. I have no problems. I really need to look up names for the actors and stuff, but the voice actors of Goofy and Donald are amazing, as they are in all of their voice acting. I know they had voiced them. I know, for example, like Donald Duck only had one voice actor throughout most of the decades. I think the new one came on in like the 80s or 90s, I feel. And then it was the same one until then. And there's only been like 2 or 3, like the entire time. And I am like terrible at memorizing everybody's names, but everybody did a fantastic job. There's no issues there. And as for the music, I gave it a solid A+ because it is one of my favorite soundtracks I've heard from these two movies, this movie and The Three Caballeros, I think that those two movies have like some of the best like music, and that's probably because it's, you know, Latino music, and I think it's absolutely amazing, and I just love, you know, that style of music and everything. So A+, awesome job, no issues here. So talking a little bit about this drawing that I did, I drew this character that has no name, and she's like not even really in the movie, honestly. You see her silhouette at the end, dancing with Donald Duck, and then that's it. Like she's only featured on the poster, and I just like her design and everything. I just think she's cute. Again, I like this film a lot, but it's short, but there is a second one, so which is kind of like the spiritual successor. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone. Thank you, as always, to my patrons, Andrew Linjo, Ben Wright Human, Brandon Tinch, Colin Warmbrot, Council of Geeks, Dark Leap Master, Hexapus Inc., Jack Mahanteni, Jesse Girona, Merrick Bennett, Story Comic, and as always, a very special thank you to my $10 patrons, Corbin Koval and Steve Zarzinski.